till the day I die. Hey, swing those hips around. Can't stop, roll back down. My ladies, short, tall, thin or wide, always down and ready to ride.
I'm already laughing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your 1973 podcast. Brad, that is one great shirt. Ryan, isn't that a great shirt?
Fantastic.
Fantastic shirt. So, speaking of 1973 podcast and a Gen X perspective, before we get into our usual movie review, we're going to talk. We missed a week with a passing of somebody that is so Gen X, it's not even funny. Icon, can we put the icon status on this? Ace Frehley, the passing of Ace Frehley. We don't usually talk too much about music, but I wanted to bring this up because near and dear to my heart. Kiss, for me, was my version of what my father's Beatles would be. An entry level to so many kids with rock music in the 70s. It's so in our wheelhouse. So many people know a Kiss song. I think you could ask anybody on the street, they could name me at least one Kiss song. Totally devastated when I heard the news that Ace passed. Totally screws up the whole Kiss going into the Kennedy Honors in December. And just an icon for so many guitarists, influences for people like Dimebag Darrell Abbott, Vinnie Paul, the Pantera guys. So cool. Just not enough that I could say about Kiss in general, but especially Ace Frehley, the smoking guitar, the iconic poster with the guitar smoke coming out of it. I mean, that's the first thing I think of when somebody mentions Ace Frehley. Tom, thoughts on the passing of Ace Frehley?
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I mean, I'm just glad we got a chance to meet him. And it's funny, you build these guys up in your head, and then when you meet them, he was pretty shy and like really quiet when we met him. Granted, it was after a show, but I mean, so he might have been tired at his age. He might have been tired, but looking into some of the stuff after he passed, I didn't realize that it was him that came up with the Kiss logo, and other things I didn't realize he was in a street gang. When you grow up, and he was with the guy from Wasp, from the band Wasp, was in the gang with him.
Wow.
But it's definitely a big loss, and it's just a shame. Hopefully, he had patched things up behind the scenes with Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. But I mean, it's just sad. What could have been? I mean, if he had stayed with the band completely.
Thoughts on Ace Frehley, Shaggy?
I mean, I had no idea he was in a street gang, and a guy with Wasp. It sounded like something from West Side Stories and shit. I don't know. All I picture is leather pants. I don't know what the hell's going on. No, Ace was great. I wasn't the biggest Kiss fan. I do like Kiss, but I wasn't the biggest Kiss fan. But just hearing, I mean, I'm impressed.
Shaggy, off the podcast.
Sorry. I mean, I like them. I'm just, I'm not jumping through hoops. But just knowing like how his life was lived, I'm impressed he made that. Kind of like Ozzy. I'm impressed you made it that far with the stuff you've been doing your whole life. But yeah, I mean, it's always tough when you see these guys that you grew up watching and idolizing and seeing them pass away. It's like, oh, another foot closer to the grave, guys. Another foot closer to the grave.
Phantom, you got to have at least a little bit on the Ace Frehley passing.
Yeah, I mean, as I've grown older, the Kiss fandom has kind of slowly dropped off a bit, but of the four, unfortunately, Ace probably ranked number 4 of the 4 for me. So sorry you're gone, but rest in peace.
Derek, any thoughts on the passing of Ace Frehley?
When I was texting with you earlier, like we said, the word icon came up, and I do like Kiss a lot. I do recall, if I remember, as your oldest friend on this podcast from the early 80s, early 80s, late 70s, I think you had a Kiss lunchbox.
I did.
So there you go. And the thing I always respected about Kiss is, as a big Rush fan, when Rush was started to make their move, and people are still trying to figure out who the hell is Rush and what's their sound. Kiss was the band that always welcomed them with open arms. They toured with them. And so that's what I really liked about that. But yeah, certainly an icon, and it certainly stinks that yet another piece of our childhood is taken from us. So yeah.
Brad, as the youngest member on the podcast, thoughts on the passing of Ace Frehley?
I, truth be told, never gave a shit about Kiss. I grew up in the punk rock, hardcore, heavy metal era where Pantera was heavy metal. Is I know they started as like a hair band, but they transitioned to uh, speed metal, whatever you call it. But anyway, so Kiss was never like on my list of bands. But then I had a kid, and we watched the Scooby Doo Kiss movie that came out in 2015. I'm gonna tell you, if you
Yes.
haven't seen this movie, it's I don't even think that shit should be for kids. It was trippy. I was watching it like, holy fuck, you know what I mean? Um, but then I'm like jamming out on this movie. Next thing you know, I bought a couple records. Detroit Rock City is hands down like top 10 best rock and roll songs ever written. So anyway, long story short, we saw that movie. Me and the boy got obsessed with it. He's only 9. He was obsessed with Kiss when he was like 5, right?
Like
So
Andy.
yeah, right. So
Let's say that.
so Kiss had a bunch of tours scheduled during the COVID era and canceled them. Well, one of those was down here at the Biloxi Coliseum. So after COVID cleared up and all that bullshit went away, they went and made up dates that they had to cancel, which I thought was super classy. And I don't know many bands that do that, make up dates that they had to cancel. But anyway, we had nosebleed seats. It was sold out show, and there's a 7 foot tall behemoth walking through the crowd. We could see down on the floor taking pictures of everybody, full Kiss costume, and I mean, it's fucking Gene Simmons, man. Like just pre-show taking pictures with people. I was like, who? Not a single band in the world does that. So Kiss is legendary. These are the drumsticks from that concert. Lucas Bottom, they're all beat up because he's been around the house just drumming everything. Um, but yeah, man, Kiss is right up there. That one was hard, dude. And I mean, there's still band members alive that can still do stuff, but it's never gonna be the same. And yeah, man, we're at that age, man. It's time to say goodbye to our heroes.
Yeah. So before we leave this segment, it's Ace Frehley, one of those icons from the Gen X perspective that so many people were influenced by, and whether they picked up a guitar or your first album was Destroyer, or you had a Kiss lunchbox, or the plastic Kiss Halloween outfits. I two Halloweens in a row. 1 year Ace Frehley, 1 year Gene Simmons for me. So R.I.P. Ace Frehley. No more shock me. So let's speaking of shocking me, it's time for the movie review. Thomas, take us in.
Yo. Hey there, podcast fans. Are you ready to show off your love for the 1973 podcast? We've got over 20 different designs of t-shirts and hoodies that capture the essence of classic stuff. Whether you're a fan of the shows or just love that retro feel, we've got something for everyone. From bold prints to subtle nods to your favorite personalities, each piece is made with top-notch quality and that timeless style you crave. Perfect for lounging at home or making a statement out and about. And don't wait. Our collection is flying off the shelves faster than you can say, don't be cheap, buy a shirt. Visit us now at bonfire.com and grab your favorites before they're gone. 1973 Podcast T-shirt store on YouTube. Just click the link in the episodes.
So, Thomas, you're going to start with the review this week because Ed is not here. He took the knee. He gave the movie a 7. So, you got big shoes to fill.
Not that big. All right. Icarus is a 2017 documentary by Brian Fogel. Surprisingly, it won an Oscar in 2018 for Best Documentary. It wouldn't win an Oscar for me. Let me just put it that way. It's about doping in sports and why it continues to happen over and over. As you get older, I was telling you off the air that as you get older, you look at sports differently anyway. And then you watch stuff like this and it really makes you look differently at it and kind of ruins your as you were a kid, how you looked at things as a kid and some of your idols. Doesn't really make Russia look too good. That was probably the most interesting part when the KGB got involved and stuff. But to be honest, there were a couple of spots that really dragged on, and I had a hard time. I mean, I did watch the whole thing, but Ed owes me for this. Uh, I'm being nice, and I'm giving a 6-6.
All right, I'll hit this next. I didn't know what to expect with it. Walked into this going out, well, it's part of the show, educational purposes only. I sat through the whole thing. I was actually not glued to it, but I was watching it with that sports perspective and the history aspect of it. I can't understand why Ed picked this movie, but at least it was something different. It's the same story that you know about Russia, that typical Cold War type mentality where they, if you're not first, you're second. Like Shaggy said before we went on the air, that's always been their mentality. They want to win, and you got to respect that side of it. It's just at what cost? It's like they had pro athletes in the 70s playing in the Olympics before anybody else did, especially on the ice hockey level. So I enjoyed it, but I don't think I'll watch it again. I'm glad I watched it. So I'm probably going to rate it a little higher than Tom. So 7-2 from me. Shaggy, you got to follow that.
Oh, I'll follow that real easy. Definitely not 7-2 in my book. Like we were talking about earlier, I first saw the title Icarus. I'm like, oh, good, Greek mythology. And then I turn around and I see some guy in bicycle shorts bicycling up a hill. I'm like, what the hell did Ed make me watch? I'm like, what is this? So I fast forward that part. And like you said, the KGB part was pretty cool. I was like, all right, it's getting kind of interesting. But yeah, no, like between the guy who created, first off, it won an Emmy for what was it up against? Let's Watch the Grass Grow. Was that like the other documentaries? Like, I don't get what the hell there was 2018, what was going on.
That Shaggy, that could be homework for you. You could look in IMDb and see what came out for documentaries in 2017 and see what it beat out.
Hey, Ryan, it beat out the behind the scenes of taking Nolan Patrick over Cale Makar.
But oh my god, yeah, this was pretty bad. I mean, let's just start with the guy who's in charge of the whole show there. I mean, complaining that he's injecting himself, he's doping up for an amateur race, and he finishes in like 20th, 30th place, and like kind of defeats the purpose right there. What I thought this movie would be about. I'm like, oh, I thought you'd be like winning and be like, oh, look what happens when I dope up. I'm like, no, you did worse than before. I want to talk about his hairline because that was impressive. I mean, I don't know if it was a turkey for that, but that was impressive. Like, that is not natural, but it was good. But listening to him complain about, I gave myself a shot and I started bleeding. I'm like, yeah, that's what happens, stupid. Just like when you go to the doctor, you get a shot, you will bleed. It's normal. Like, I don't understand what you're crying about. Yeah, and like same thing. I watched the 2 hours, but like I was kind of fiddling through my phone and dozing off and just praying for it to end. I'm gonna give it I'm gonna go by like a 5'4". I think it's the size of the guy who's riding the bicycle. I'm going by his height. I'm gonna give it a 5'4".
Shaggy, I got to ask you too. What do you think, as being a close confidant to Ed?
Yeah,
and seeing him naked multiple times, what do you think got Ed to pick this movie?
Maybe he's thinking about doping before he does the Ironman. I don't know. I have no idea what made him watch this. I'm like, I don't get it.
Did you
like I think he said, if trying to find the fountain of youth or something? I don't know.
Did you enjoy the part where he told the doctor that he wanted injectables, but he was scared to do it?
Yeah, that was great. That's the salliest move I've ever seen in my life. I want needles, but you got to do it for me. Oh, and bruising. I'm like, yeah, no shit, buddy. You're puncturing your skin. You're going to bruise. Like, what? It seems like most of it was like common sense shit. Like, oh, this is about cheating in sports. Yeah, we know the Russians cheat. Like, that's how they get the edge. We know this. Like, we talked about, like, there's cheating at every level. Not drugs all the time, but cheating at every level of freaking sports, no matter where you are. How many times you get a 16-year-old pitching in Little League for the World Series?
Ring, ring. Phantom?
I gotta follow up this fucking guy.
Yeah, wait till I go.
Oh, jeez.
I kept it mild.
No, all joking aside, I was kind of intrigued by it a bit. It's the the story, I kind of liked how he was like kind of going into it, just seeing like I want to see what the difference is. Like, and like Shaggy said, he was like, so he goes through the whole process and he kind of like struggles with it, but it's like not so much physical. It was like bike would be busting on him and shit. But once it kind of like rolled into like the Russian stuff, it kind of brought me back to like a little history lesson of like back to like Nazi Germany when they had those Olympics and stuff, and they just want to kind of show some world dominance like through athletics. So it was as intriguing as it was. I did find it not to be super entertaining, more for like knowledge, I guess you could say. So I'll kind of come in the middle amongst you guys. I'm like 6.6, but it was good. I can't say I didn't like it.
Is anybody going to touch on how the first year where he was natural, he finished 14th, and then after all the doping, he finished 25th?
Wow.
It was the bike's fault, not his.
Oh, well, hey, blame the bike. Blame the bike. Derek, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to start off with giving you guys my score. I give it an 8.2. I enjoyed it. The first half hour probably could have done without, but I got some notes here. Dr. Grigory Rodchenkov quoting George Orwell. He was a character. It was funny to watch him. I wrote down, it begins as a commentary on doping in sports and becomes something greater than about the dangers of being a whistleblower, especially in Mother Russia. And then it wasn't so much like anti-doping, it was anti-don't get caught doping. The whole thing where they're sliding the specimens through the whole and it almost I see it's not for everybody, and it almost took on more of a role of, instead of a documentary, it was like a thriller. Like, how is he going to get caught? Is he going to the gulag? So I didn't mind it. And then so Mr. Bombastic Shaggy, I'll ask you the question. Who is the Icarus of the film? There's a little Greek mythology for you. Who is the Icarus?
I think it's Dr. Grigori trying to, because he thought he was untouchable, and next thing you know, his wings melted.
Yeah. Okay. Wouldn't he be the father? Wouldn't he be?
Yeah,
Wouldn't he
I
be
don't remember what the father was, but yeah,
Icarus's father? He's the one who
Yeah.
helped him build it, right? And
Yeah.
so I almost think that McLovin Fogel there is Icarus, because he dopes like Lance Armstrong and then he crashes pretty much.
what I did find funny was, like, you know, in the beginning it's about him, and then all of a sudden, like, he's just kind of in the background. He's just like holding the camera, like you don't even like see him at all, except for like being the chauffeur for the Russian fugitive.
Is that such a bad thing though? Is it, he's making the documentary, but he shifts the focus onto the doctor instead of, oh, look at me, I'm the one who got him out of Russia, I'm doing this, do that. So I kind of like that angle where he was, you know, kind of slid aside. But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, and the hairline is there. And the other thing I texted you guys, what was the doctor's infatuation with the dog's balls? I'll never know.
Seriously,
So really freaky that just like it all started out like that. You're like, okay, I see where we're going here. But no, hey, it's, you know, I called it the Morgan Spurlock on PEDs. There you go. There you go. So that's it. Yeah. Hey, I enjoyed it. I gave it an 8.2.
It's going to balance out a lot of stuff, Derek.
Yes. Yes.
So finally, bringing up the rear,
Here comes Mo Rivera.
Bradford, take us home with this movie review.
First of all, I ain't watching no 2-hour gosh darn fucking movie. That ain't happening, guys. 2 hours ain't happening. A documentary especially ain't happening. This is the second documentary Ed has picked for us. So I started out with a pretty decent score because I did watch some of it. I did look into it and everything. All right, you know, yeah. You guys said it best. It starts as a thing about doping, turns into whistleblowing about Russia. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I feel like I've seen that movie before, but it was more entertaining. Oh yeah, that's right. It's called Rocky 4. So what I took points off because it's this. I took points off because it's a second documentary this fool picked for us. I took points off because it's a 2-hour fucking movie, and I took points off because it's a documentary. Like, stop picking documentaries, man. I ain't got time for that shit. I ain't got the attention span.
And it
So
lacked montages. We need a
my
montage.
final score, and I had to balance this out because Derek went so high, so I had to drop points from even more just to balance this shit out. I'm gonna give it a 5-5. I feel like that's respectable. I think Ed will respect that. And he knows I don't have the attention span to watch a 2-hour goddamn documentary. So quit picking those documentaries, Ed.
Especially you can't come here and review this shit that you make us watch.
And you're not even here. No, I'm taking a point away for that. 4-5.
There you go. 4-5. I'm with you.
4-5. It went from 5 to 4.
Ed just farted the room and left.
Yeah, next time
Brad,
show
is
up
it
for your
safe to
movie
assume
review.
you never watched The Last Dance or OJ Made in America? Because those are like 10-hour documentaries.
No, didn't watch. It was a documentary. Next.
And
Ain't nobody
for
got
the
time for
people
that.
that aren't familiar with when Ed is not in attendance, Shaggy, could you explain Ed math for the people that are new to the show?
You got 20 minutes for me to figure out the mathematics right now. Just write it down, Ed. Ed, write it down, please. Divide by 6, Ed. It's okay.
Thomas, you got a score.
Might be our lowest one yet. 6-5.
Fuck yeah.
No, what was Rogue One?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't have that.
We finally bombed out enough for Rogue One to finally climb the ranks.
Well, once again, we got to balance out your goddamn score for that one, Mr. Highball.
That was
Room
a perfect
10.
movie. That was a perfect movie. The best
Solid
Star Wars
movie.
movie ever made.
Heck yeah.
IMDb says Icarus is a solid 7.9.
They're lying.
They're full of shit.
Yep.
Somewhere in there. Somewhere in there.
Vogel's family must
They're
own
the ones that voted for
IMDb.
Jethro Tull for best heavy metal.
Before we move away from this segment, Brad, you're still on deck. You got to give us your palate cleanser, as you call it. What is it?
I had to go deep for this one, y'all, because I knew this movie. We got to recover from watching Icarus. So we need a fun, laughable, don't take yourself too serious movie. It's an 80s, like early 90s classic. Andrew Dice Clay, The Adventure of Ford.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yes. Saw it in the theater. Can't wait to watch it again.
Yes.
Wow. Hey, I will apologize. You guys might have to do some digging to find this shit. Like, I think it's on Prime for like a couple bucks to rent.
All right.
I'm gonna have to go rent a VHS player because that thing's old. You know that's not DVD.
It's I googled it today. Apparently, it's like even for streaming, it's kind of hard to find. So you might have to YouTube it. You might have to get creative. If I find it on Prime,
not hot for me, Joe Rogan.
if it's on Prime, I'll text the group chat and be like, hey, it's on Prime. You know, I'm sure for rent or purchase, it's only like $2 or $3. So spring for it. It's peak 80s, 90s Andrew Dice Clay cinema. You got to watch it.
You're lucky Dennis isn't here. He'd be saying, "Is that on the Peacock? Is that on the Peacock?"
Speaking of Dennis, I'm wearing his nephew's baseball hat. He signed it.
There you
too.
go.
Nice.
Shout out. You got
Shout out.
So, all right. So, movie homework, movie review. Score was what, Tom? Final score?
6-5.
6-5. Icarus. All right. So, it's time to go into another realm. We're not at the sports talk yet, but we kind of are. We got to get to this week's pro wrestling review with Bradford. Bradford, come on, let's go.
Let's go. Man, I want to get. We talked about it last week. I want to celebrate this John Cena retirement tour, man. I'm on the fence. I think it's just been a year just gloating and just self-worship for him, man. It's been kind of tough to watch at times. I'm still going to watch the Last Time Is Now farewell match on Saturday Night Main Event. They're dropping special edition action figures. I saw at Walmart there's like a 3-pack of John Cena now. They have a couple of special hard to finds like Can't See Me clear edition action figs. Like he's really just leaning full into it for this year. What I don't understand is he went and beat Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship, had a 6-man tag against Dom on Monday Night Raw, and then gets to face Dom again for a rematch for the Intercontinental title at Survivor Series. And I'm like, what of all the people in the business, why is Dom, who's already way over, super over with the crowd, getting I don't think anybody but Cody's had more than one match with Cena on his retirement tour. So for Dirty Dom, who's already over, to get three, it doesn't make sense to me. I feel like they could have put that energy somewhere else. His last episode on Monday Night Raw, although it was entertaining, like it was a fun episode, and they've been stale and cold for so long. It was fun, but at the same time, stuff kind of sucked, man. Like I wasn't feeling it. Tony Khan came out and said WWE 100% has not asked about bringing Edge in for the last match. I'm like, why not, man? Like, throw everything down. Whatever you got to do to get Edge. That like Cena did a tribute to Edge in a match. The next day, Edge did a tribute to Cena in his match on AEW. There's like this, wrestling, hey, going back and forth. It was awesome. And that's what we got. And we all have these expectations, and it really hasn't lived up to it. Or maybe the international wrestling community, maybe myself, are being too hard on it. I don't really know. Uh, I just I was never a fan of Cena to begin with. I'm gonna say that right now. Like he was never like my top. Yeah, I don't even put him like in my top five. But like for what he's done for the business, I thought a year tour of going out, it would have been more than what we've got. So I don't know.
Did you see,
Yeah.
Brad, that what they're doing is they're dumping all the vault stuff off of Peacock and putting it on YouTube for free?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was wondering where the vault stuff was gonna go.
Yeah, so all that stuff is just kind of on YouTube now under the
Nice.
WWE Vault channel. They have their own like just channel for the Vault.
Nice.
They dumped this card from the Omni from the NWA from 1984 just randomly on there, and I'm like, you guys have been holding on to this crap for all this time, and you're not dumping it out for the hardcore fans that love the old stuff. You're sitting on these just epic cards. I mean, the Road Warriors were on it. I think Jake the Snake was on it. Like this is all, pre Hogan stuff that the classic NWA setup. They had that for years, and they're just sitting on that. That's what Thomas. That's what grinds my gears. The amount of stuff that they're sitting on that they don't allow out to the public that for historical purposes you want to watch. So, Phantom, when we were going back and forth with Brad, when he was on his rant on the text, I was like, save it for the show, dude. Thoughts on this week wrestling news?
I don't know. I don't think it was that bad. It's like I think sometimes when it gets a little stale, they go peaks and valleys. So when it kind of gets a little shitty, kind of like pile on a bit, but it hasn't really been terrible. I kind of I don't like how they like force feeding like the Survivor Series thing into like whatever that and War Games. They kind of put it all together. I think it's like they almost like they remind me of like AEW. They're just looking for like, let's get somebody to show up just to have a big pop, just to get the socials going. So it's like, all right, Lesnar shows up, Roman Reigns shows up. How about Dolph Ziggler showing up? That actually kind of surprised me because I wasn't expecting it. So, but then
And Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona as well. Then he does the job. So it's just like, there must just be a one time in. Let him take the L and send him fucking packing.
You know what's weird about the Matt Cardona thing though? He's been on NXT a lot as Matt Cardona, and then they brought him on a Monday Night Raw as Zach Wild, and then dropped a bunch of merch.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Even I mean, I know everybody knows Ziggler as Ziggler, but he's kind of been Nick Nemeth since he left. He might as well back under his own name, kind of thing. I don't know.
Weird.
But it's Survivor Series. I'm not really getting like too pumped for it. We'll see how it goes.
Who do you think's gonna win? John Cena or Dom?
Oh, Cena's
I think they're gonna put the belt back on Dom.
Oh yeah, it's in San Diego. It's his hometown.
Oh,
It's going back to him. Which again, I
it would be cool.
I don't understand.
If they doing shit with Ray, turn him bad. Let him go back with the kid.
Yeah.
I gotta ask the professor a question before we move away from the wrestling. Thoughts, Thomas, on SmackDown going back 3 hours? Unnecessary?
Oh, definitely unnecessary. They can't do anything with 2 hours, and
Yeah.
they just do the same old crap every week. But the big rumor going around is be interesting to see if it happens. Is Cena's last match, Saturday night's main event. The rumor is that Vince McMahon may actually be in the crowd for that. And because they can't really, they don't want to have him backstage, they may actually have given him a ticket and have him sit in the crowd because he and Cena are so tight. I guess like all through this thing with Vince with the lawsuit, I guess Cena's been not hanging out with him, but he showed up at Vince McMahon's birthday party that they had at some restaurant in New York. So he's really close with McMahon. So the rumor is that Vince might be actually be there.
Weird.
That'll be something definitely noteworthy to talk about if he shows up.
Shaggy,
Yeah,
I see your Icarus face.
What?
I see your Icarus face.
The
I need Cena just focus on our Peacemakers series. Like I don't need this wrestling shit anymore. Just go to Peacemaker again. Let's go.
Yeah.
the thing about McMahon's birthday party is I heard some stuff about that. That guy will never learn his lesson because he was doing a thing where it was by invitation only, and it was at a location that only he knew until the day. And you show up and you couldn't have your cell phone because you didn't want pictures of certain people that were there, and just that whole, we've heard these stories and allegations before with certain things that, not that anything went on, but that's just the recipe of how those things go. And it's just,
was everybody wearing white when there was baby oil?
who knows? Who knows? But the wrestlers that were there were like the Undertaker and Cena. Yeah. It was only like not everybody was there, but Roman Reigns was another one of the guys that were there. I found that odd.
Pritchard.
Yeah. Oh, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. Biggest kiss ass in wrestling history. That's
I think Pat Patterson, he it's like 6'7".
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whoa.
For the kids. Kids show. It's a kid show.
Yeah.
So we'll put a cork in that for this week. Always fun to talk about, especially when Ed's on the show. Ed loves the wrestling talk. When somebody's talking wrestling, you got to go to Ed and look at his face and just.
It's like this.
He's usually texting me.
It's great. It's great for the show. Comedy purposes only. So, Thomas, it's time to start getting into the sports. So, shitty picks. Let's go.
All right. 1973 podcast is fueled by W Energy, but it wasn't always this way. W Energy was born from humble beginnings, an idea sparked in a small apartment when their founder, Anthony, set out to take on the energy drink giants, aka Big Energy. After trying a big-name competitor's product and being disappointed by the taste and poor quality ingredients, Anthony knew he could do better, so he dove deep into formulation, mastering ingredients, flavors, and performance to create an energy drink that works without the jitters, crashes, sugars, artificial dyes, or calories. W launched with just one flavor and reinvested every penny to grow, and now they've crafted 15 plus custom-made flavors enjoyed by thousands of loyal customers every month. So are you ready to break free from Big Energy? Go to www.w.gg and use code 1973podcast at the checkout for 10% off of your order. W Energy, no jitters, no crash, just pure focus. Now back to the 1973 podcast.
All right, Thomas, shitty picks and some sports talk. Let's go.
All right, well, my shitty pick, I don't want to seem like a homer and take OU again because this week's going to be too easy because they play Missouri. Missouri's backup quarterback's playing, so not taking that game. I'm going to go with the only other game that two ranked teams are playing each other. I'm going number 15 USC versus, I think, number 8 Oregon in Oregon. This is probably USC's best team since Lincoln Riley's been there, but I'm not taking them. I'm going to go with USC because they're home. I think the quarterback for USC makes a few too many mistakes. He tries to force the ball in too many times. He's had quite a few turnovers this year. I think Oregon's D will cause a couple turnovers. I think it'll be a close game, but I'm going with Oregon.
Thomas, it's your segment, kind of. Do you want to do the football talk first, or do you want to get into some hockey?
Whatever you guys want. Doesn't matter to me.
Dealer's choice. Go with the football.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with college first and on a roundtable discussion. BYU, are they getting screwed or what so far with the college football playoff rankings? Right now, they'd be out.
That's a great question.
I think if you make your bed when you don't have that solid schedule, you gotta.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate when you got to go straight off of rankings. But you ain't really beat anybody really good. It's tough to bounce you over those teams that may have a worse record than you, but everybody they play is legit.
They've got to get rid of the AAC having an automatic bid because none of those teams deserve to be there. That's who I think should if BYU was going to get in, I think that's who they should be in over. But I mean, that's the NCAA for you. They
what is? I mean, what's the beef of BYU? They're a 9-1 team, right?
Yeah,
They haven't played anybody.
they've played two ranked teams. They're 1-1. They beat Utah and lost to Texas Tech.
I mean, yeah, I don't consider either one of those like a viable quality opponent. And the rest of their Portland State. I mean, this schedule is not Iowa State, Arizona, Colorado, and they barely beat Colorado. Like I don't, they're not. This isn't an impressive schedule. I don't understand if I'm missing something. They're in the Big 12. The Big 12 sucks anyway. I mean,
So doesn't the ACC?
ACC is trash business.
Brutal.
I'm not even justifying that, but I don't think BYU, and this is an argument I had with Ed a while back. I forget who it was that had like an undefeated season and they didn't even get a bid to the playoff. And then they went and had their own little championship on their own. Some Florida team. But it's that if you don't put the quality opponents in there, I mean, and they're not even undefeated. If they were undefeated, I would give them more points towards the top. But if you're gonna have a cake trash schedule like this, you got to win every game.
I feel like it's like this every year. I feel it's like this every year with BYU. Like even back when we were kids in the '80s, it's like, oh, they're 9-1, 10-0. I'm like, who'd they play then? They played fucking nobody.
Yeah,
the Big West or wherever the hell they're in.
Yeah, that's like the story of every Big 12 team.
Yeah, like every year it's like that with BYU. Like, oh, they got a great record. I'm like, yeah, great winning against Utah. That's a wonderful one.
I mean, going into it, they know the formula to get in. So if you're going against the grain, then you gotta make your bet and lie in it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Which I think they live in that though, because it's like they can talk about, oh, we want to get in, we deserve it, blah blah, and then when you don't, you get this fake clout. Like we could have won the whole thing if they let us in. And
you're against us, core Mormon.
Yeah, you just kind of run with it, but they ain't got no chance of winning that. Why waste a spot?
Hey, Tom, weren't they in the WAC?
Yes,
WAC, that's what it was.
Oh yeah,
dude. Yeah, bring back
Detmer and all the Coy and all those guys.
Dude, bring back the WAC. I mean, late Friday night, San Diego State, Marshall Falk. I mean, bring the WAC back, man. That's that should be a slogan somewhere. I miss those games.
Yes.
55-47, and
like
those were great games. Yep.
Hey, let's talk about another schedule that really is not justified right now. Grambling State, Ohio, Minnesota, Illinois, Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers. Oh, that's Ohio State. My bad.
Yep. I thought we were going to tell the best team in the nation, UMass.
Oh, I have a complaint about them with the whole 2 weeks ago when they played Northern Illinois. They're down like 45.
The fireworks!
They kicked the field goal and they set off fireworks. That is an embarrassment right there.
I guess the head coach just did what's it called? Their press conference here. I did like, hey, we got the MAC like plays on Wednesdays. Like, hey, we got big game against Bowling Green. You guys can do what you normally do. You guys come down here. Basically, tell everyone in town to get fucked up and come on down and watch the game.
They need to drop back down into the FCS or whatever that's called.
Yep. Agreed.
They're god awful.
All right, let's do. That was the appetizer. We know what we all want to get into. Let's talk some hockey. First off, what do you guys? I don't know if you. I mean, I'm pretty sure you all heard, or most of you, not Brad because he's not really hockey, but Connor Hellebuyck just announced had knee surgeries out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Who?
Connor Hellebuyck.
Oh.
So, what do you think? Do you think the teams are going to start with McAvoy getting hurt, and now they're saying he'll be back for the Olympics? Do you think these teams are going to try to make these guys sit out for the Olympics? With both guys at Team USA, do you think they'll try to make them sit, or do you think they're going to let them play?
I don't know.
It's kind of funny.
Like
Don Sweeney's a big part of the
Team
Canadian.
Canada. Yeah.
So I don't think
Yeah.
he's trying to rest him up.
Yeah.
The timeline is crazy for these guys that have surgery that are banged up. It kind of coincides right with my conspiracy theory where they're going to be all well rested just in time to play, and they'll pull almost the Mark Stone, and they'll be all ready for the playoffs. I telling you, it all the puzzle pieces are falling in. They're playing a shortened season. They're going to play 100% in the Olympics and then ride it right into the playoffs.
Yep.
I was gonna say, I would think you let them play the Olympics. Kind of, I know they don't want to hear it, but treat that like, hey, this is like going down to the minors. Like, go play in the Olympics. Those are your practice games before you come back. Like a little tune-up before you get back in the regular season.
Yeah, if we are kind of sprinkling the Olympic kind of talk subtly on the podcast, doesn't it kind of coincide with the documentary that we watched this week? Is Russia gonna have a team in the Olympics?
They got to. They got to.
We're robbed of it. I mean, they've got great players, and we're robbed of it.
Can you imagine? I said it before. I almost want to watch that team if they put it together. It's an absolute juggernaut. That team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's guys that are going to be left off that team that would be
stars on other teams,
right?
Yeah. Yep. It is sad. Even the World Juniors, like Ryan, they need to be back there. So it's sad. The thing on McAvoy. I'm taking a deep breath as a Bruins fan, Tom. He is so bloody overrated. He got spun like a top in that when they play Team Canada and the Four Nations. He's just give me Jacob Slavin instead. As Ryan and I have said, if you could maybe concoct an ideal defenseman, would take Seth Jones and Charlie McAvoy and mold them into one. Then you might have yourself an actual NHL defenseman. But, God, his turnovers. But that was unfortunate. You could see the slow-mo, the chiclet comes right out. It was pretty bad. But, the timeline, all these – I think it's lazy talk, if you want my opinion. The Olympics, I think because the league – it was, Ryan, 30-something% of the games go to overtime. And – how many teams are like separated by a half dozen points? I think it's lazy commentary from the press. Oh, let's talk about the Olympics because we really don't have a lot to talk about because, other than Colorado and Dallas and maybe Carolina, there's a lot of mid teams in the NHL.
And there's going to be more. There's going to be more. Every time they throw in, we talked about this a bunch of different times. There's guys that are AHL quality guys playing in the NHL. Oh, it's just because they keep adding teams.
No, and it's not going to stop. There's like 2 or 3 more teams coming.
Oh yeah,
because that's all that that's non-hockey revenue related. So the owners get all of that, and the players don't get any cut of that. So it's coming. So it's coming to Atlanta. It's coming to Houston.
And Phoenix.
Bring back Quebec.
I would love to see the Deeks back. I mean, Pepsi Center is a beautiful place. It just sits there. The Rempart play there, but it's NHL ready. But it's sad. It's sad.
And the third city's probably Phoenix again, right?
Pretty much was written. In Ryan, you can back me up. I think it was written like a gentleman's agreement with Bettman and the people in Phoenix saying, we'll come back. You get yourself a viable stadium and we'll have a team there. Yeah. So,
how many times you got to go to Atlanta and let it fail in 5 years and go somewhere else?
Yeah.
I think they just keep looking at how huge that market is. And everybody that wants it is always like, they didn't do it right. I can do it. I can do it better.
Right.
So does it come back as a Thrashers offshoot or is it another new team?
Oh,
no, it'll be an expansion team because again, they want that what is how much is it now, Ryan? Like $2 billion for a franchise fee, something like that. So they want all of that. All those nut jobs like Dolan and Jacobs, they want that money because they don't have enough, obviously. So
it's gonna be a combination of the Flames and the Thrashers. It's gonna be the Firebirds.
Oh, Shaggy, good great marketing ploy on that one, huh?
Ryan, the Flint isn't it the Flint Firebirds?
Could be. Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
So yeah, there you go.
That's
Yep.
a river.
Yeah.
Just don't,
River swim.
just don't drink the water.
Isn't
Yes, don't drink the water.
Isn't don't they have like one of those Dolce teams or something out of California that's AHL team that has the Firebirds? It almost looks like the Trans Am logo.
Coachella Valley.
Yeah. That Grant Fuhr is the
He's
color
the
guy.
color guy. Yep.
Coachella Valley.
Wow.
They got the Firebirds.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like just like the Trans Am logo, but it's
Nice.
yeah.
Yep.
It's
They
like
put
they
rounds
stole it from Pontiac.
What do you guys think about the changing of the guard?
Yes.
With Bedard and Celebrini kind of taking over here as Ovi and Sid kind of hit their not their phase up. It's still on fire and Ovi's still
Unbelievable.
But
Yeah.
it's funny how it goes in like kind of like every 20 years generation wise, where you had like Mario and Wayne, and then it kind of bounced up to like, I mean, we're not going to forget about the Eisermans and the Sakic's and those guys like that, but then it kind of went to Sid and Ovi, and now it seems like now this might be the new crop, I guess you could say, in the comparison between the two and where the teams are as they're both kind of like coming up from the bottom together. It's really intriguing, and as we were talking about the Olympics, it's like, are they going to put them on Team Canada, or are they going to leave them off?
I think they're a lock, and I think Schaefer might be on the team too. It's kind of reminiscent to 2010 when a 20-year-old Drew Doughty was on there. I mean, I think you have to take him. I think he's been given. There's an IOC. This all goes back to Icarus, Shaggy. There's an IOC mandated 100-day drug testing program or something, Ryan, where Schaefer has just been officially entered into that.
Right.
So writing could be on the wall, but Celebrini. So Ryan and I were talking. I was taking Celebrini. He was taking Bedard. And it's funny, Ryan, when I look, Ryan and I went to one of his first games at BU. We both kind of looked at each other like, kind of underwhelming, but he was 17 years old. So I went to that game, and then by the end of the season, when I went to the Hockey East Championship, I was like, Jesus, this kid that's a completely different player, and he's amazing. So he became the fourth ever teenager to score 30 points in 20 games. The other three, we pretty much just mentioned them all: 99, 66, and 87. So I just love his compete level, Ryan. He's just he's a dog. Ask Mo Sider. Yeah, and just I feel, just wait till he gets his man strength. Give it like 4 or 5 years. I think he's just going to be installed. He's got a great shot, great along the boards, great. Again, he really reminds you. Unfortunately, sorry, Andy, but he reminds you of Sid. I mean, he's just, he's got that compete level. And Ryan, no knock to Bedard, because I'm starting to see some sweet compete level from him of last night. Not like he was gonna, Hassan chop the referee on the non-call.
Yeah.
But he gave up on the play, though. He did give up on the play. I
should have been a penalty, no question. Yeah. But Ryan, I looked at all the stats. I mean, both of them 70 to 60 shots on goal, so over 3 shots a game, which is what you need. You can't have these Elias Peterson 1.7 shots a game. They both get heavy power play time. They both, and here's the key thing for you, Ryan. They both start 40% in the O zone and 40% in the D zone. So it's not like Blashill and Warsofsky are sending them out there on a mid offensive zone faceoff. They're getting the big heavy minutes, and there's really, it's a fine line between the two of them. I mean, I think Macklin's got a little bit more of the compete level, but then Bedard's got that shot, man. So
yeah,
it's going to be fun.
I think when it comes down to it, I think that Macklin definitely has a better shot at making Team Canada, because size-wise alone, we saw it with Jack Hughes in the Four Nations. Jack Hughes is a stud, but he wasn't really doing when everybody is all of a sudden as big as you. The size matters. Yeah.
And by the way, I sent a set of plastic knives and forks to the Hughes family for Thanksgiving. I don't want anybody cutting any more fingers, but no, I agree with you too, Brian. And then you got to think that Macklin played on Team Canada last year in the Worlds, even though they got dumped by Denmark.
Yeah, that was actually one of my points. I want to see if
Yeah,
with Bedard turning down the offer to play in the Worlds, if that comes back to be like, oh, you didn't want to play in the Worlds, you're not going to be on the Olympic team. And
you guys, you know how Team Canada is with their politics
sure.
with that bull crap. Yep.
If he's not good enough to be on that top 6, which arguably he's not, you're not putting him in your bottom 6. So I don't know. He might end up being on Stubbsville, but I think Macklin's definitely going to be there.
Yeah,
I want to know if Carter Hart's eligible for Team Canada.
Whew, I don't think he's even allowed in Canada.
That's a great point. That's right. Didn't he want to? He wanted to leave Canada and come down to the U.S. to train during the whole thing, and they said, So that's the Christ. We could have a whole podcast on that.
Ogie Oglethorpe kind of treatment.
Yeah.
With Helly being hurt, does that open the door for Spencer Knight to get on top 3?
You know, as soon as Tom said it, I was going to say to you, "Can I interest you in some Spencer Knight?" You'll go back at 5-6 years from now, and you'll look at that as the start of your Hawks reloading. Yeah, you got all the picks, you got a ton of depth with the prospects, but you got a number 1 goalie now that makes the utter complete difference in the world. And he could definitely be on there, no question. He could take Swayman's spot.
One last thing to add about the difference between Celebrini and Bedard. Bedard might be the only guy I know that has changed the technology of the way they make hockey sticks. The toe drag release, for every stick that's made now that's high end is made to shoot with the toe drag release. I've watched so many videos, for the kids and whatever. All those new sticks are not to bring it back and release anymore. It's everything is brought into the side, all because of that. And all the technology of all the new sticks are like that. That is the new way to shoot. And if you're still shooting the old way, the stick doesn't work for you the way it's supposed to. So if you're not shooting with an old wooden stick, all the new sticks are made with the into the body and then the release. So
interesting.
You're going to have to give Bedard maybe a little bit of the nod on who's kind of defining the game now. So point to ponder, fellas.
And from an aesthetic standpoint, Ryan, I mean, they just absolutely nailed it. They're bringing back the black sweaters. Long live the Eric Daze, Tony Monte days. Those are beautiful sweaters
I tell you
to begin with.
I wish they would have brought those black jerseys back for the Centennial jerseys.
Ooh,
because
okay.
all the original 6 are wearing these Centennial jerseys. They're all nice, every single one.
Yep.
Hawks, classic red jersey, and all they do is throw gold trim around only the numbers in the back, not on the sleeves.
Yeah,
I think they're terrible.
Well,
terrible.
They're not as bad as if I could quote Dickie Dunn. There's a lot of shysters in Florida. The Panthers sweaters for the Winter Classic. Where are we going? Where are we going? I give up.
Can I add, Thomas, anything before we move on?
That's all I had.
All right. So you know what that means. It's time to go into another dimension. Get your aluminum foil out. Rod Serling, take us in to the outer limits. Let's go, Tom.
Brad's tinfoil hat conspiracy of the week is brought to you by the book Loving Elliot, a fitting tribute to undying love written by our very own Andy Clark. It's available on Amazon.com. Elliot was the oldest special needs Jack Russell Terrier when he passed away at the age of 21.
Great book. And you're gonna love this one. I think I texted you. I'm gonna talk about the thing about the JFK assassination is there's layers to this shit. And you can go in from so many different angles. So I recently found out about the 3 Tramps. Have you guys heard about these guys?
Yep.
No.
Today was the first day I heard about them. So when JFK got assassinated, there were 3 homeless people, called them Tramps back in the day. Yeah, I know you guys heard Tramps. We got real excited. But not those kind.
I thought we were talking about Will Square.
Yeah, right? So
Shaggy has a Tramp stamp, I believe. So
yeah, he does. Most def. So it's
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. We had to look it up. I had to look these guys up, man. So and this story is just weird, guys. It's really off the rails. So 3 homeless dudes out of everybody on the Grassy Knoll, out of all the chaos, the commotion, the president just got shot in the head. The police go and arrest 3 homeless guys that were on the Grassy Knoll. There's 3 dudes dressed like tramps, like poor people. Anyway, the newspapers took a lot of photos of the cops because they got escorted and arrested and investigated. It was a huge deal. Everybody's like, why did the cops go straight to these 3 guys when the president got shot? Out of all that commotion and looking for the shooters and et cetera, it went straight to these guys. So anyway, I started looking into it. One of the 3 tramps is considered to be the father of Woody Harrelson, Charles
murderer.
Harrelson,
The murderer.
who Charles Harrelson, when you start digging into who this guy was a gun for hire back in the day. He had apparently had ties to the military, to intelligence communities, and the mob. He confessed actually to being the one who shot Kennedy, but he was high on coke. You guys know we've talked about the whole cocaine booger sugar thing on here before. Not a lot of credibility when you're in a standoff with the police and you're high on cocaine, claiming to have killed a president. So a lot of folks didn't believe him, but I just thought the parallels, the connections, the coincidences for this, it was just too crazy not to talk about. I had never heard of the 3 tramps, so I'm anxious to hear Andy's take on it. Weird shit. Woody Harrelson's father, for crying out loud. That is weird, bro. Do you guys know there's a lot of movie stars and singers whose parents were like associated with the intel community or the military or doing some like secret squirrel spy shit? So a lot of folks think that like the parents did some mission for their country and their reward was their kid got to be famous for some reason. Jack Black's mom was like an engineer on like the Apollo 13 missions. Olivia Newton-John's dad worked for MI6 and actually arrested and interrogated Hitler's number 2, Hans Frey or some shit like that. I don't know. I'm not a historian. Anyway, a lot of weird shit going on. Hollyweird strikes again, Andy.
So the 3 tramps thing, I had heard about that, kind of pre-internet, and it was kind of like one of those lores that those guys were the backups just in case anything went south, that they were gonna subtly clean up the mess. Like they were in a position to oversee the whole thing. And usually like homeless people, they're kind of like they're there, but nobody kind of pays attention because they don't want them to hassle them or ask them for a change or whatever. So they were there as fail safes if anything, either way, went wrong. And when they got scooped up first, like Brad said, that was just to kind of like get them out of here. To the crowd, it looks like they're just pushing the homeless people out or whatever, or arresting them or whatever. And hey, the homeless guy got arrested. Oh, no big deal. It's just an everyday thing. But the 3 dudes, and being one of them, Woody Harrelson's father, which I found out later on with the interwebs, these guys were set there supposedly as, like I said, the out for many different things, not just the main thing that happened, but they were there to take care of a situation at close range. And once that was done, they were the first ones that they kind of like, scooped them up and kind of, and like Brad was saying, where allegedly there was, an admittance that was just part of the ops to kind of put everything, hey, it was a weather balloon the next day type of thing. So, they're multi-purpose. They're like a Swiss Army knife. They're able to do a lot of different things. You need to open a can of Spam, or you need to whittle a piece of wood. We got them both for you. So yeah, that's a great topic, Brad. I think that the part of the conspiracy theory of the week, tinfoil hat, is great bringing out, because this segment is endless. There's so many things, especially from our information age that we're in now versus what we grew up on. So it's a nice hodgepodge of the two. And what's the mother of all conspiracy theories? The Kennedy thing. So I mean, as we get older, will you ever know the truth? I mean, is it one of those things that you can't handle the truth? Who knows? Tom, thoughts on the three tramps?
Nothing surprises me with as you get older with things you learn about the government. Nothing surprises me, so that wouldn't surprise me, and it explains why Woody Harrelson is so weird in all his movies.
There you go.
Hey, here's a bonus tidbit. Harry Connick Jr. You guys know him?
Yep.
From New Orleans, singer, actor, really famous guy. His father, Harry Connick Sr., ran for district attorney of New Orleans back in the 70s and won. The crazy thing about that, his opponent, Jim Garrison, had independently investigated and compiled a heap of files and information about the Kennedy assassination and was about to go public with the shit. Harry Connick Jr. or Sr. won the DA role and destroyed all of that research. And now Harry Connick Jr., of course, went on to be famous as like the reward for that. And Harry Connick Sr. also famously refused to prosecute a priest by the name of Dino Sinell, who was one of the original Catholic, you know.
Yeah.
He did a lot of he set the bar pretty high when it came to hurting little boys. So I'll leave it at that. I don't even want to research it.
Brad,
because
somebody
it's
else that
disturbing.
you mentioned on the podcast before too that is in that clique like that is Nicole Kidman, right?
Oh yeah.
For people that don't know.
Yep.
Hey, you say Harry Connick Jr. Ryan still hasn't recovered from him dying in Independence Day. So, and I thought Three Tramps was just a nickname for JJ Fad. There's a good pull for the 73 podcast. There you go.
There you go.
Yep.
Phantom, want to weigh in? Want to weigh in on the?
Yeah, I thought I was in pretty deep on all things conspiracy theory as far as the JFK thing goes, but I have never heard of that. So that's something we'll have to watch the documentary on it.
You can learn a lot from the youngest member on the podcast. There is some knowledge in that gray beard.
He's been dabbling on the internet longer than us.
Man,
Elliot book in one hand, lube in the other.
Yeah, exactly. Except I'm at work on the government computer, and I was like, "Hold up,
nice."
I need to do my research from my phone because this is gonna get me fired."
Red flag.
Yeah,
the rest of us on this podcast had a earn out point and like find it in the woods.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
You're gonna have to go on the work computer, Brad, and find the shared files and just go through all of them and see what you can find.
Oh, in the golden era of the military on a deployment. Yes, you just jam your USB in there, and what you got was what you got. So yeah, man.
Here's the quote of the day,
bro. Pirated movies, pirated music, the deployment computer. I mean,
I did fantasy drafts from my work computer.
Yeah,
it was
full
crazy.
of everything. Now, if your USB even sniffs a government computer, the alarms go off and still doors slam down and they shut you out and you lose a stripe or get fired. So yeah, the golden age of the military. Yeah, you slam that USB in there, the deployment computer, you can find everything. Everything.
Shaggy, can't weigh in
They
on.
called it the morale computer for a reason.
There you go.
They had a hand sanitizer right next to it.
Wasn't a thing back then. We were men.
We were men. Shaggy, speaking of men, you can't weigh in on the three tramps.
I mean, like I said, I love the stuff I learned on this. I don't delve into this stuff too often, so I love hearing this stuff. So it's great.
Yeah,
I didn't know about the whole story, but I knew about like Woodson Harrelson's dad being a hired gun and all that stuff. But yeah, it's always pretty interesting listening to these tinfoil hat stuff.
One of my favorite segments. Thomas, you want to start wrapping this up with some shout outs?
Sure.
Andy, hold on. Can I bring it back to some wrestling just for a second?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Did you guys happen to catch CM Punk on Barstool?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Bits
yeah.
and pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh yeah.
oh, his little his competition.
Did you see the obstacle?
Yeah.
That
It-
man, for who he is in professional wrestling, single-handedly killing kayfabe with a lack of athleticism
Oh my God.
beyond what you could ever imagine. So
It
was
if
bad.
you didn't see it,
It was bad.
straight up regular obstacle course, like for a kid.
Yep.
It was bad.
You get one bean bag, you gotta get it in the hole.
Hey,
no
he
big
nailed
deal.
a cornhole toss.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
dude, it was like freaking 2 feet from him.
It was.
So
It
he-
was close.
So he gets it in the hole.
My favorite is when he's shooting the 3 points. Like, this is gonna be bad. I'm like, what about the rest of it? What about the rest of it? That was fucking horrible.
As soon as he got to the soccer,
Oh my God.
Oh, bro.
I'm like, this
It was like
dude looks
me on
like he never
skates.
kicked the ball in his entire life.
Like,
Like,
me on
so-
stage with fucking friends.
so awkward.
Oh.
Goes to the football. He's like 3 feet away. He's gonna throw it through the hole. Zillion times.
Oh,
Then he had
It
to
was
throw.
bad.
He had to throw like a wiffle ball up in the air and hit it.
And just hit it.
It just hit it like they had like a little second story or whatever. Gonna hit it up there to go to the. Oh, dude, it was horrible.
Bro, he started
Listen.
one-handing it and still I was like, oh my God.
It was.
I
a
love when
mess.
he was throwing the football. They didn't even put the camera on him. They're just like zoned in
Yeah.
on the target. They're like, we don't want anybody to see him throwing the ball. It's fucking horrendous.
Yeah, it was. I'm watching this and I'm going, oh.
Oh.
Anybody that doesn't like wrestling's going, this fucking
Yeah.
guy ain't kicking nobody's ass. Nobody get his
Yeah.
ass kicked in the UFC.
Not
He's
an
kicking his fucking-
athlete.
Like, how the fuck do you run around the ring? Like, how do you run around the ring? You don't look like you got 2 left feet.
Yeah, never played a sport at all.
No.
What
I'm
you're
far
saying
from a
is
soccer guy, but man, if you can't kick a ball that's stationary
Bro.
on the ground,
The soccer, the kicking, that was bad. Like
That-
I
That
don't-
was horrible.
that's
Bro.
when I dialed in.
Yeah.
you know, the problem is you cannot claim to be the best in the world when you're pigeon-toed.
yeah, pigeon-toed, 2 left feet.
Oh.
He's buckling. He couldn't do nothing right, bro.
That guy went straight from comic books into the ring. That's what that
Straight up,
Yeah.
straight up.
Hey,
That
Tom,
was
he
me.
was right about one thing, though. That real quick, as a fellow baseball guy, they're going to lock the players out after next year.
Yep,
Oh yeah.
It's done.
absolutely.
Yep. So,
Shaggy, shout out. Let's go.
I don't know if you guys mentioned it last week. My shout out is to the families of the 29 that went down the Edmund Fitzgerald 50 years ago. That's my shout out. God bless them all.
God bless.
and there's a
Gordon
great
Lightfoot.
documentary on YouTube. Documentary, Brad. I apologize, but Shaggy, it's from one of the
I saw-
local Michigan.
News Channel, I saw that.
Yeah, it's
And it
great.
wasn't 2 hours.
No,
It was
nope.
only like an hour.
Yep. There you
I
go.
watched part of it. I'm
Yeah.
not even from that way.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
Yep.
Phantom, shout out.
Let me shout out Dylan Strom, who
Yes.
yesterday
Nice.
playing hockey, and during the first period, apparently his wife had their 3rd child while he was playing the game.
Yep.
Oh no.
When she went in early, and I guess he found out afterward that his daughter was born, and he was out of town.
Wow.
So
Yep.
just like the people at work didn't want to lose their perfect attendance, didn't see the birth of their kid.
Yep.
That-
It was only the 3rd kid, so he's all right.
He's done it twice. He's good.
The third one's irrelevant. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'll take the next shout out. I want to mention friend of the show, kind of a silent member like Clarence in the Beatles. Phil made a great new intro for the podcast. Always does pretty good work. His son's been sick like the last year, so we've been going back and forth and working on the intro for a little while. So I just want to say, Phil, thanks. Hope your son's doing great, and happy Thanksgiving if I don't talk to you between now and then. Thomas, what do you got?
Want to give a shout out to guy that's probably my second dad, Billy G. He's having some health problems right now. Just want him to let him know I'm thinking of him and get better.
Derek, you're up.
Okay, I missed last week, unfortunately. So, Brad, belated Happy Veterans Day from one to another. Thank you. 2 quick shout outs on deaths for 1973 type folks. Rest in peace, Kenny Easley. In my very extremely brief high school football career, the reason I wore 45 7 seasons, Hall of Fame. That's all you need to know. You can make an argument for a small window of time. He was better than Ronnie Lott. So rest in peace, Kenny Easley. And rest in peace, Larry Brooks, one of the original no holds barred sports writers for New York Post, covered the Rangers for over 40 years. Andy, the first coach he covered was Fred Sherrow, who was essentially traded from the Flyers to the Rangers for the draft pick that became the original Rat, Ken Linsman.
Yep.
So they don't make them like Larry anymore. You could go on YouTube and find epic battles versus Tortorella and Dan Boyle. So rest in peace, Ken Easley, and rest in peace, Larry Brooks. So thank you.
Yep. Freddie Sherrow took the Rangers to Stanley Cup Finals, but lost.
Well, who didn't lose to those 70s Canadian teams, right? So,
right.
Yeah.
Bradford, you have the honor of wrapping up the show this week.
First of all, when we refer to the Rangers, we refer to them as the Texas Rangers, the 2023 World Series champion. Anyway,
okay. Broadway blue shirts. I'll use from now on, Andy. There we go. Right. Yep.
They're the same colors, blue and red. Like essentially, it's the same team. Team.
Brad, the owner came from Texas. It was Texas.
Yeah, there you
Texas
go.
Was his name? Texas Rangers.
Same thing. Yeah. So I want to shout out my homeboy Jason Seibel. He's a fan of the show. He has watched and commented a few times. We definitely need to get him on for an interview, Andy. I've adult ADHD, so I keep forgetting to tell you. Anyway, he has crowdfunded his own comic book called Mercer. I've bought 2 of them through crowdfunding. They're incredible. The artwork is incredible. It's like top notch with anything you've seen with Marvel and DC. Anyway, I want to congratulate him on successfully crowdfunding issue number 3. Can't wait to get it in the mail. Andy, we got to get together offline because he has a great personality and would make a great interview. I'm just I don't even know if it's adult ADHD. I just took too much Tylenol when I was a kid, so I'm like slightly autistic.
As Shaggy mentioned, I've mentioned it over time on this podcast. This is one of our silent partners, CTE.
Yeah,
the 1973 podcast brought to you by CTE.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah. I'm not that bad. Jesus
Spokesperson.
Christ. That's a poster child.
Holy cow.
Ed is the Antonio Brown of the podcast.
Ooh, that cuts deep.
Do you have eye floaters? You could be a fan of this show.
Wait for Ed to take his shirt off and run around.
Monte's perfect of the podcast.
Oh, shit.
He's the reason why Brown has all that CTE because he killed him. Yeah.
I feel like I'm the Jackson Dart of CTE, so I'm going to take that one. I'm like fun, but not that good at what I do, but still get a lot of credibility. The fans love it.
P drops in the underwear, everybody. That's your 1973 podcast.